If your vote didn't matter, the GOP wouldn't try to keep black people from doing it. How many bubbles are in a bar of soap? That was one of the questions on a test that black people had to take in order to vote down south. That was eliminated after the Voting Rights Act of 1965. I wonder why conservatives were trying to keep African Americans from voting. There is a concerted effort made by the American system to keep poor people and minorities from voting. Unless you're a poor, white, or old conservative. It's older people that vote the most. A third of the electorate was 65 or older in 2022. 33% of the voting population was 65 or older, and only 37% of the voting population voted in the 2018, 2020, and 2022 elections. And the vast majority of those voters were senior citizens because they know how important it is. So it's not just corporations that are tilting the country in this direction, it is the senior citizen vote, which tends to be a bit conservative. And while I do have a lot of my own personal gripes against the Democrats, they are not the ones that have a consistent history of suppressing votes. In 1981 and 1986, under Ronald Reagan, the Republican National Committee sent out letters to hundreds of thousands of African American voters, and when tens of thousands did not respond, they were removed from the polls. In 2002, New Hampshire, the Republican Party disqualified thousands of American voters who were trying to do it by phone in ride-along to the polls. They ended up going to court and losing. Even after Joe Biden got elected in 2020, 47 states passed 361 bills, making it that much more difficult for people of all colors to vote. In Georgia, by 2021, it was illegal to give someone snacks or water within 100 feet of a polling place or within 25 feet of anyone waiting in line to vote. Here's a map showing the most difficult states to vote in. The darker red, the more difficult to vote. And would you look at that? Southern conservative states are the ones where it's hardest to vote. These are the states where in wealthier white voting districts it is very easy to vote, you barely wait online, but any minority neighborhoods have huge lines, everything shuts down, and maybe there's only one working machine. All that put together is why, like I mentioned earlier, only 37% of the population have voted in the 2018, 2020, and 2022 elections. That's what the system really wants. Not just the GOP, but the wealthy Democratic elites. If this percentage of voters was closer to 90 or 100, yes, the country would vote more blue, but I think we would have much better candidates than we have now. You see, the system we have actually wants to discourage younger people from voting. Older people, Democrat or Republican, tend to vote with what's presented to them. Here's a list of the top recipients of Big Pharma donations. You see how they're mostly Democrat? There's some Republican, mostly Democrat. When it comes to real estate, it's more 50-50. As long as it's mostly older people, moderate or not, who don't want to push the envelope, this will keep happening. But giving you, the younger voter, the idea that your vote is pointless means they win. The reason why the system makes it especially hard for African Americans to vote is because they are the ones who can elicit the most change, and they are the hardest ones to discourage from participating in their civic duty. Especially the older people of that community understand what an honor and a privilege it is to actually vote. I'm the Geo Husar, and if you want real change to happen, you need to go against the grain of the media and start thinking and voting for yourself. Thanks for watching.